Hello, a very warm welcome to Ford Fair 2023, Europe's biggest and best celebration of all things Blue Oval. Now, for the modern fast Ford fans, that means cars like Fiesta STs and Focus RSs. But for the classics world lot like you and me, that means more the retro and the classic stuff, with plenty of it on display. So let's have a quick walk round and pick out some of our favourites. But first, our friends at Lancaster Insurance are running monthly giveaways. You can win all sorts, from experience days to tools, restaurant vouchers and tech. So check the video description for full details and to enter. There are plenty of fairly common Fords here at Ford Fair, like your Focuses and your Escorts and your Sierras, but this is by no means common. A Mk1 Consul, hugely underappreciated classic, extremely rare these days. There's double-digit numbers of these left, and actually quite an advanced car for its time, really underappreciated even in the Ford community. This one though, we do appreciate. For a start, gorgeous condition, banded steel wheels, beautiful chrome, and the flat battleship grey I'm a big fan of. This is actually what we call a bit of a resto mod though. Under the bonnet, not a standard engine. It's actually got a Pinto engine with a Type 9 gearbox from a Sierra. The owner bought it as a part-done V8 hot rod, didn't fancy that kind of thing, and built it up as his dream Consul, but newer, and I really like that. It's been beautifully done, it presents incredibly well, there's a lot of genuine Ford bits on it that just really finish it off nicely, and it's the true spirit of Ford and the classic Ford community. Love it. A rising trend in popularity for unexceptional classics has led to a real uprise in the preservation of standard humble cars. And there's a great example here, a Mk3 Fiesta. It's not an RS, it's not a turbo, it's not an XR, nothing remarkable, but it's just really tidy. It's done 53,000 miles, it's still in its original jack and toolkit under the bonnet, there's not a bit of rust at the front end that we can see. It's been treated to some lovely later 5-spoke wheels off of what we believe to be a Hot Mark 6 Escort. The interior's mint, it's even preserved with some seat covers. It's nothing special, it might not turn many heads, but it's a really nicely preserved example of a car that was once street furniture, that's acquiring classic status, but you just don't see anymore. Big thumbs up to the owner of this, we love it. This is an Escort RS Cosworth. It's a staple of the fast Ford and indeed the classic Ford world these days. It's even on some very nice OZ racing wheels. But this one stood out for a number of reasons. Number one, it's from France. The owner has driven all the way from La Belle France with his left-hand drive Escort Cosworth to be here at Ford Fair today, and that alone deserves a mention. Number two, the beautiful dark blue paintwork combined with some nice carbon fibre details here and there. It looks beautiful. It's a really nicely presented show car. Number three, it's done just 100,000 kilometres or around 60,000 miles. It's in beautiful condition, it's enthusiast owned, and it's already a cool car. All staples for you being worth featuring in one of our show highlights. So, owner of this car, bonjour and voila, très bon. 2023 saw the very sad end of Ford's iconic and hugely popular Fiesta Super Mini, and to celebrate we've got a Farewell Fiesta display here at Ford Fair 23 with all the generations from Mk1, Mk2 right up to the brand new 7 and 8 in various guises from basic all the way up to monstrous ST. Now it's great to see them all here because the Fiesta is a staple of streets the world over, particularly in Britain, and it's going to be a very sad day when they're not as common as they once were. But for now you can see all of the bloodline from start to finish, and I for one am going to be sad to see it go. Farewell Fiesta. The detailing masters at Auto Finesse have got a whole section here at Ford Fair to show off car cleaning, detailing and polishing at its best. And front and centre as you come in is this gorgeous Anglia Super. Now Anglia is a staple of the classic Ford world. This one is beautiful. Lovely condition, chrome just immaculate. It's subtly lowered very nicely. It's on some really nice 13-inch mini lights which suit it down to the ground, but it's also got some Advan 808R semi-slicks on it. So I'd wager there's a little bit more than a 1300 engine buried under there. Inside, the leather is beautiful. White and red is a lovely Anglia colour scheme, and for a nice finishing touch, the rear windows are popped out. It's everything we love about these cars. It's just gorgeous. One of Ford's 60s styling highlights for me, and this one, because it's Auto Finesse, I mean, there's not so much as a dead fly on the number plate. Love it. You might might recognise this Mk1 Transit from our classic Ford show video back in May. This is the same one. You'll remember that it was for sale back at Classic Ford Show as a bit of a restoration project, and clearly it's gone to a good owner because already it's been improved. It's got a new top on it, it's got lots of nice stickers and sign writing, including a classic Ford one, nice touch, and inside it's had some trimming work done. It's got a new stereo, some Ford cushions, and even some new bench seats so the kids can come along too. It's got these very nice 70s style Venetian windows. It's been tyre shined. There's a little bit of paint and bodywork being done, so there's clearly a lot less rust than there was, which is hard enough to do with the Mk1 Transit. It's lovely to see the evolution of a Classic Ford project like this. That's what the Classic Ford community is all about. So one day very soon, this could be a fully completed show van, I guess, not really show car. Look out for it very soon on the pages of Classic Ford magazine, you never know. But for now, great to see the old girl again, and it's already looking better. There are plenty of Escort RS2000s at Ford Fair today, primarily Mk1s or Mk2s, but this is a Mk5 RS2000, the unloved generation, and for as much as it's not everyone's cup of tea, it is ours. We love an underdog here at Classics World, and this one is a lovely example. It's totally original, mint condition, it's straight as an arrow down there, those lovely Recaro buckets are all but unmarked, and it's even got genuine Ford accessory RS mud flaps with its original clips and brackets to hold them on. It doesn't get much more original than that, and we are all about giving cars that a lot of people wouldn't look at a mention. This is a beautiful example of a car that is fast going extinct, in bone stock, lovely state, and it deserves a mention. So if this is your car, thumbs up. The Mondeo was a radical new launch for Ford back in the early 90s. It went from being the hot thing for sales reps to have, to a taxi, to common street furniture, to now an emerging modern classic. We've got the Mk1 and Mk2 Mondeo Owners Club here with a host of fantastic examples, primarily the STs, the 24s and the 200s, of course, the V60s, beautifully presented. We've got some nice and standard like this one, some with a few nice mods like that one, aftermarket wheels and intakes and so on. But I think it's great that a car once designed to be effectively throwaway is now a preservable modern classic that loads of people are still using. The Mondeo's uber practical, comfortable, reliable, and one day will be every bit as collectible as a Mk1 Escort. Mark my words. Mondeo, we salute you. We love the obscure here at Classics World, and it doesn't get much more obscure than this. A Mk5 Escort Chairman, not the top of the range executive spec, but a wheelchair compatible Mk5 Escort. You can put a wheelchair on the back of this, hence the raised roof and the low back end, but they're very often converted into day vans like this one, which makes the perfect camper to come to a show like Ford Fair, enjoy a cup of tea, but also have something that looks wacky, unusual, and oh so charming on display. I love it, I want one. It's 35 years since the Ford Sierra Sapphire hit the market, and what better way to celebrate that at Ford Fair 2023 than with this lovely example of the top spec model, the Sapphire Cosworth 4x4. That's right, all-wheel drive Sapphire Cosworth. This one with the green top Cosworth engine in there. This is a lovely example. It's well used. It's got a very early tax disc on it. It's got the display sticker there in the window from the dealership it was shown in, and it's lovely. We love a Sapphire Cosworth. Go and watch our Hot Fords video for more action on one of these. We loved it. This one is well used, well shown off. The owner loves it, and so do we. You don't really see these things out and about often, but when you do, it's special. So that was Ford Fair 2023, a Classics World perspective. There are Focus RSs and Fiesta STs here, but we're all about the classic stuff, the Granadas, the Capris, the Mk1 Escorts, and all the stuff you've seen today that proves the church of the Blue Oval is broad indeed. So thank you to everyone who attended and made this show what it is, Europe's biggest and best show of all things Ford, and we'll see you at Silverstone for 2024 for next year's Ford Fair. This video is proudly sponsored by Lancaster Insurance. Give them a call on 01480 400 889 for an insurance quote on your classic car. And don't forget to click the link below to enter their latest competition.